So, you're a civil engineer. That means you're part of a legacy of builders who have shaped our world for literally thousands of years. From the Roman aqueducts to the Burj Khalifa, civil engineers are the unsung heroes who build the backbone of civilization. But here's the thing. Just like we don't build skyscrapers with mud and sticks anymore, the skills you need to succeed in this field are changing faster than ever. What got you an A+ in your university statics class isn't necessarily what's going to get you hired today. It feels like the ground is constantly shifting under our feet, and the blueprints for a successful career are being redrawn right before our eyes. So how do you stay ahead of the curve? How do you make sure your skill set isn't becoming the professional equivalent of a horse-drawn carriage on the Autobahn? Well, that's exactly what we're going to figure out today. I've been digging deep, talking to industry leaders, and analyzing job postings to create a definitive guide to the civil engineering job market right now. We're going to look at the skills that companies are desperately searching for, the ones that will make your resume shine. And just as importantly, we're going to talk about the old school skills that are slowly being phased out. This isn't just about listing a bunch of software. This is about understanding the why behind these trends. It's about giving you a strategic roadmap to not just survive, but to absolutely thrive in your career. We're going to build a solid foundation for your future, piece by piece, so you can be the one designing the next generation of incredible structures. So grab your hard hat and let's get to work. Alright, first up, let's talk about the absolute game changer, Building Information Modeling, or BIM. If you think of traditional two-dimensional blueprints as a simple photograph, then BIM is like a fully interactive, data-rich, three-dimensional virtual reality model of the entire project. It's not just a pretty picture, it's a digital twin of the building before a single shovel hits the ground. Every single component, from a steel beam to a light switch, contains layers of information: its cost, its material, its installation schedule. This allows everyone, from the architect to the construction manager, to collaborate in one shared space, catching clashes and errors that would have cost millions to fix on site. It's the ultimate cheat code for construction. Companies are practically falling over themselves to hire engineers who are fluent in this language. The key tools you'll hear about constantly are Autodesk Revit, which is the industry standard for creating these models, and Navisworks, which is used for clash detection. Basically, making sure a pipe isn't trying to run through a structural column. Then you have Bentley eCOSM and AutoCAD Civil 3D for more infrastructure-focused projects. Getting certified in these platforms isn't just a suggestion. It's becoming a prerequisite. It shows employers you're not just familiar with the concept. You're ready to jump in and contribute to these complex, collaborative projects from day one. As civil engineers, our number one job is to make sure things don't fall down. It's kind of our whole deal. And in the past, that involved a lot of painstaking manual calculations, safety factors, and maybe a few sleepless nights. But today, we have incredibly powerful software that lets us put our designs through the ringer digitally. We're talking about structural analysis and simulation software. This isn't just about checking if a beam can hold a certain weight. It's about simulating complex real-world forces like earthquakes, hurricane-force winds, or heavy traffic loads over decades. It allows us to optimize designs for both safety and cost efficiency in a way that was simply impossible before. The big names in this space that you absolutely need to know are tools like STAAD.Pro, ETABS, SAP 2000, and SAFE. These are the workhorses of structural engineering. Major consulting firms and construction giants, think Ecom, Jacobs, L&T, live and breathe this software. They use it for everything from designing high-rise buildings and complex industrial plants to analyzing the structural integrity of bridges. Being proficient in one or more of these tools demonstrates a deep understanding of structural mechanics and an ability to deliver precise, reliable, and optimized engineering solutions. It's the difference between saying "I think this will hold" and saying "I have run 500 simulations and I know this will hold." Civil engineering isn't just about individual structures. It's about how those structures fit into the larger world. And that's where Geographic Information Systems, or GIS, and remote sensing come in. Think of GIS as a smart map. Instead of just showing roads and cities, it can layer on tons of other data: soil types, floodplains, population density, utility lines, and elevation contours. It allows us to analyze spatial relationships and make incredibly informed decisions. We can identify the optimal route for a new highway, pinpoint the best location for a new reservoir, or map out areas most at risk from landslides or flooding. This skill is in huge demand for urban planning, environmental engineering, and transportation projects. Remote sensing, which includes analyzing data from satellites and aerial imagery, takes this even further. We can monitor deforestation, track urban sprawl over time, or assess damage after a natural disaster without ever setting foot on the ground. The go-to software here is ESRI's ArcGIS, with QGIS being a powerful open-source alternative. Mastering these tools means you can provide a macro-level perspective that is invaluable for large-scale infrastructure planning and disaster mitigation. It's about seeing the forest and the trees. For a long time, the goal of construction was simple. Build it strong and build it cheap. But today, there's a critical third dimension. Build it sustainably. The construction industry is a massive consumer of resources and a huge contributor to carbon emissions. As a result, there's an enormous push for green building practices, and engineers with sustainability skills are no longer a niche, they're essential. This goes way beyond just adding a few solar panels to the roof. It's about a holistic approach to design and construction that minimizes environmental impact over the entire life of a building. This means you need to be familiar with concepts like life cycle assessment, or LCA, which analyzes the environmental impact of a building from raw material extraction to demolition. It means understanding energy modeling to design hyper-efficient heating, cooling, and lighting systems. And it means being familiar with green building rating systems. Certifications like IGBC-AP, which stands for Indian Green Building Council Accredited Professional, or the internationally recognized LEED Green Associate, are becoming massive resume boosters. They signal to employers that you understand the principles of sustainable design and can help them deliver projects that are not just good for the client's wallet, but also good for the planet. You can have the most brilliant, innovative, and sustainable design in the world, but if you can't manage the project effectively, it will fail. It will go over budget, miss deadlines, and end in chaos. That's why project management skills are, and always will be, a cornerstone of civil engineering. This isn't just about creating a to-do list. It's the science of orchestrating 1,000 moving parts, people, materials, equipment, and money, to achieve a specific goal on a specific timeline. It's about risk assessment, resource allocation, and clear communication among dozens of stakeholders. To do this effectively in the modern era, you need to be a wizard with project management software. The two titans in this arena are Microsoft Project and Oracle's Primavera P6. These tools allow you to create detailed work breakdown structures, track progress in real time, manage resources, and forecast potential delays before they become catastrophic. Earning a certification like the Project Management Professional, or PMP, is the gold standard. It's a rigorous process, but it tells the world that you have the proven experience and knowledge to lead complex projects from conception to completion successfully. In engineering, the person who can manage the timeline and the budget is often just as valuable as the person who designed the structure itself. For over a century, land surveying meant trekking through rugged terrain with tripods, theodolites, and leveling staffs. It was slow, labor-intensive, and sometimes dangerous work.